quite in shape.
Alright, good.
I send
Okay.
you the UGG
The
and the
GG
VOD.
as well, nice. Alright, give me a sec. Start recording, alright. Okay, Platinum 1 Belveth main, I see. Okay,
Only this season, but yes.
alright. Yep. Well, I like it that you are only pretty much only playing Belveth here. So that's the first big thing, is that we want to keep the champion pool pretty small. So I'd say 1 to 3 is usually the way to go. The reason why is because as we get to build the champion mastery, we don't need to focus on the mechanics as much. So especially during clear, it's much easier for us to focus on the game and see lanes and stuff like that, which is obviously really important for junglers. But yep, I don't think there's anything really to say about the OPGG here. It's looking good. Nothing wrong with that. Is it this one? Win early, lose, lead, but come back. Hello.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah. Yep. All right. I was just checking my Discord has been kind of weird lately. Okay.
I'll let you know if the sounds cut or
All
anything.
right. Yeah. Thanks. All right. So let's see. I want to see the tab. We do kind of have the tab in the bottom left with the
I will
sometimes.
tab.
All
Usually,
right.
yeah, here.
Yep. All right. So what are we thinking about this game?
Personally,
Yep.
what I like to do is probably invade Diana because, like, I think Belveth wins a lot of 1v1s early game.
Mm-hmm.
So if my laners get prio and I can invade, I like to abuse the jungler in front of me. Because it allows me to first track him and like get some of his camps and even kill him. And when I kill him, I can take a quadrant. So then I know where he will go and I can ping the opposite side of the map.
Yep.
So like I'm trying to apply this every game, and I don't try to like do specific ganks because, for example, I have a lane with the CC, because I don't know how they will play in plat if they will manage to hit their CC. For example, Shogath has a lot of CC, but he might miss them. So like I act only depending on the HP of the opponent.
Yep.
Like if I can solo kill him or just get a little bit of help from my laner, but I try to secure those kills.
Yep. So that's a really good habit to kind of go into, especially during early game, because we are lacking damage. So what we want to do is we want to pretty much only go for the low HP targets. We want to go for the low HP targets. So basically, if you want to rely on CC, I usually want my team to have like really simple CC. Stuff like Nautilus AA even. Um,
Mhm.
or Nautilus Q is pretty easy to hit as
Renekton.
well. Yeah, Renekton and stuff like that. Point and click is pretty much the most
Mm.
reliable way. But when you don't have CC, for example, the way you can gank lanes if they end up pushing up. So that's another thing we want to
Yeah.
keep an eye out for if they're pushing up really hard. So then again, the CC is not as needed because they have to run all this way back to the safety of their turrets if like you jump on top of them and start ganking them, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So basically, we want to go for low HP targets. Um, Utilize point and click CC. Just point and click CC. But yeah, we don't want to really rely on, okay, this Joker is gonna hit the nastiest flash Q. Like, yeah, it's probably not gonna happen. I don't want to ever rely on that and kind of expect that to happen. It's probably not gonna happen. But yep, utilize point and click CC and punish overextended laners. So this is especially if you don't have like any CC. This is what you simply must do if you want to get any ganks out. Just like go for
Mhm.
the overextended. But yep. Yeah. So top matchup, two tanks, pretty chill. Uh, two TP. So the reason why TP is an important thing to notice is that when we are, for example, planning to gank level 3 gank, for example, at top side or whatever, if they have TP, it's kind of a cheat summoner. It gets really fast back to the lane. So that
Yeah.
obviously takes a lot of value out of the kill. So basically, in ganks we gain two kinds of value. So we gain gold for the
And deny the
and
CS.
minions. Minions, plates, whatever, and then the enemy loses CS, XP, stuff like that. So obviously when they do have TP, especially early game, because the dead time is so low, they don't really lose much of this, right? So we like basically take half of the value of the gank immediately away. So that's why if you have several gank options, for example, I usually want to go for the guy who doesn't have TP.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna place this a bit lower. But yep, those are just some basic things there. Okay. So yeah, about the top matchup, yeah, double TP, double TP, double tank. So yeah, I'm expecting a pretty chill lane. Obviously, if they do go for heavy trades, then yeah, obviously again go for the low HP target. So that's a really good kind of principle to live by. Mid matchup. So one thing about
Hard to
mid,
gank.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's hard to gank.
Vladimir with Ghost and Flash and the pool, it's kinda impossible except if he commits. And what I like to do is just check the if he use the pool because it's a long cooldown. Like Zed, it's hard to gank except if they use their disability. And like in my games, when I have those type of enemies, I try to like F key and see when they have used it, and I know that I have like 15-20 seconds window to gank.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly the correct way to kind of deal with these set and Vladimir matchups, unless you have like a really strong CC like Lissandra, Ult, or Malazar, or whatever. But yeah, but one thing to notice about the mid matchup is that they're double ranged. So this is kind of
Yeah.
opposite to when they are double melee. On the top lane, for example, we are used to having double melee matchups, so they are kind of like volatile. They can trade a lot, which is also expected from the tanks. But then again, they're tanks, so they don't probably go for kills a lot. But yeah, double range. So what that means that they are standing next to the caster minions when they are last hitting minions instead of the melee minions, right? So they are immediately way more safe while
Safe.
CSing. Yeah, so the trading is gonna be probably a lot less of it, right? To range, not expecting a lot of trading. So
Right.
again, when we can kind of expect who's going to trade and who's not going to trade, then we can also kind of more easily determine who's going to be the low HP target, which is again really easy for us to kill. Jungle matchup, yep, you definitely want to invade this matchup in general because again, we don't have a really strong gank here anywhere. So basically what I want to do in those kind of games, I usually want to invade and disrupt the enemy jungle, especially when we are a stronger pick during early game. We absolutely just like Shido this Diana in the jungle. But yeah, Diana is usually pretty predictable jungler because she loves the full clear.
Yeah.
Diana loves the full
Yeah.
clear, so definitely if you see her starting on a buff or getting leashed, definitely I want to abuse it
Yeah.
somehow. Usually it's gonna be the third, second buff. I mean. Also, one more thing to notice always when you're planning to do the second buff invade, always check if they are also running inspiration here because they most likely have cosmic insight. If they don't have cosmic insight, then you're gonna have to flash up, smite up a bit faster than they do at the second camp. So you can also just like it's not gonna be a smite contest. It's just you having
Yeah.
smite.
Yeah. The 5% advantage.
Yep. We want to disrupt it. But yeah, invade to kill, probably on second buff here. We don't really have that many options as Belveth. But yeah, one thing you can do is you can also invade the wolves. If they start red buff, for example, you start red buff, 3 camps, and jump over to the wolves and kill her on the wolves. That's another option you can do. That's something you can do. It's kind of a more cheesy way because usually people are expecting that, oh, my jungler might get invaded on the blue buff, so they might be like crashing the way or whatever. But when they get invaded on the wolves, they're like kind of like really lost and kind of like just get the panic. They don't know what to do.
Just a question. You
Yep.
say that I should invade wolves to cheese, but this means with Belveth that I have to gank level 2. I mean to invade level 2.
No, no, no. That's level 3. I'm gonna
Level
explain
3?
that.
But
Yeah.
Diana clears faster than me, I think.
I'm gonna explain that in a bit. So we're
Okay.
gonna talk about it in a bit. Let's cover the matchups first. But yeah, I just want to disrupt the full clear. Since again, pretty likely that they're gonna go for the full clear. Bot lane, it's kind of enemy bot lane has really strong kill setup here, so they do have kill potential here. And your Xayah is running Conqueror, but again, not relevant. But one thing to note this year is that we have now 2 ranged. They have kind of, well, I wouldn't really count Rakan as a range champion, even though he technically is. But yeah, so what this usually means is that the double range will again get prior. That's kind of the idea behind double
Okay.
ADC bot lane, for example, and stuff like that. So again, maybe we can utilize this to invade bot side, for example, if Diana starts blue, red or whatever. But again, it's kind of like expectation. I wouldn't solely rely on it because again, like it can go messy and stuff like that.
And yeah, especially the lower elo you are,
Yeah.
because maybe you can rely on that on Challenger, because you know the matchups, who is going to get prio, etc. But sometimes in Plat, they will act like melee will outpush a range, and you don't know why. Like
Yeah. Yep,
sometimes it
exactly. I mean,
happens.
yeah. The most important thing in solo queue is always
Adapt.
it's not adapt yeah, ability to adapt, not necessarily like having a really clear game plan or whatever. Whatever. But yeah, why I usually cover this stuff is because I want people to have some sort of a plan when they go in the game.
Mm.
But obviously, it's always going to be more important to adapt to the map, go kill the low HP target and stuff like that. But
I
yeah,
think that's what I tried to explain at the beginning. Like, I try to apply the same plan most of my games, except if the jungler is stronger than me, based on not my allies, but on myself, because I think I can rely on my mechanics and not on my allies, like prio, etc. And
yep.
like what I'm trying to do every game, I don't know if it's a good idea, but I try to start without leash for my laners, so I know where I start and I know that they will have the prio and
Mm,
invade the enemy jungler, except if I see that the side I'm invading, they're both under tower and they can collapse on me.
yep.
Sometimes I'll even invade and wait if they follow, because sometimes they're like not following, and in this case I can trade, and if I see them moving, I just get away because I have like 4 dashes.
Yep. 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 I mean, nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So when you do start for the invading route, do you always start raptors or is the
Like it depends. If like my bot lane really want to like give a leash, I start red, but usually I bring them to go lane and I start raptor, then I do gromp, because I think it's the best way to save HP. Like raptor gromp red instead of raptor red gromp.
crux? You mean probably not crump. Crump is
Yeah, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was getting
I
a bit
meant
worried
Krugs.
there.
No, no, it's
Yep.
raptor.
Crux.
The Krugs. Yes, I
Yep.
forgot the name.
Yep. So one really important thing, if you're planning to do a three camp invade, we always pretty much want to start red side because that leaves us with the most
Yeah,
options. Yep. So if he starts blue side, yeah, we can go invade the red buff. If she does start red side, we can then go invade the blue buff for the
yeah,
wolves. But
yeah.
I'm not
That's
sure.
what.
Yeah. But if you were asking about, oh, I'm not probably able to invade the wolves. I'm not sure if you can, if you do start raptors. If you start buff, it's probably very likely that you're gonna be able to do it. Basically, the basic kind of early game tracking thing is that when I clear 3 camps, enemy has cleared 3 camps. It's pretty
Yeah,
standard, except for maybe Katos, who is a few seconds faster than you on the third camp.
yeah. But in this case, if I start red, I won't be level 3 before she gets at the wolves.
No, you will be. You would do a red Crux, Raptors, and then you would
Yeah,
go invade. You would be
yeah.
level
But
3.
she would have finished her wolves, because I have the traveling time between raptors to wolves.
Mm, if she starts red side, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, if she starts red side,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
my
yeah,
bad.
yeah. Yeah,
I
that's
thought
it.
like if she
Oh
starts
no,
on
no.
the same side as me, like here I know
Yeah.
that she start blue. I'm pinging she's blue, and I was confused because I was like, he should clear three
Oh yeah,
camps
yeah, yeah, yeah.
as
Yeah,
fast as
of
me.
course, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
okay,
In that case scenario, yeah, you cannot invade if there's a blue buff on the
yeah,
blue side, but you would invade on the red side. Yeah, that's right.
that's
So
what I
that's
do here.
yeah, yeah. That's why we always start the red buff if we are planning to three invade because it just leaves us the most options. We have
Hmm.
all the cards available. On champions who can level 2 gank, for example, or invade, they can also go for the Cromp level 2. But yeah, guys, yeah. Then we are kind of checking for prior, but again, like the enemy prior is not that important here. We can just like kind of beamline on the enemy unless
Yeah,
they kind of start collapsing because they are kind of weak early game champions anyway.
yeah,
We can just run away as Belveth. Yep, we find her. Good. Hold on to ability or W as long as possible. Here, one thing here, I always want to talk about. Um, so basically, what other people, I think some stat sites call it, is kill conversion rate. Kill conversion rate, but also like that might be another name you know it by. But how I like to talk about it is that every time we kill the enemy,
hmm,
we kill the enemy. We want to take something away from them because again, like
yeah.
we have freedom on the map. Uh, what's going on with my tabs here? Wait, fix it. All right. Okay. So every time we kill the enemy, we want to get something in return because again, like we have way more freedom on the map. So again, what's the most immediate camp here? It would be the Crux again.
The Krugs, yeah,
Yep.
but like it's either the Krug or I was looking top because I see that he's building a wave and I can like dive and deny the wave he's pushing.
Yep.
Like he's doing a slow push, I think, and like big wave will crash.
Hmm. How I would use this push instead is I would most likely look to invade the Crux with her. Because if you think about Diana's shoes, where does Diana go when she gets killed on red buff? Where do you think she can go?
Like she can go to either the golems or the crab that is spawning soon. But the golems are already spawned, and the crab will come in only in 15 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the
So
Crump
yeah,
or the Crump is going to spawn at 4:20, so it's 1 minute away from spawning up. So it's the same as your camp basically here, except that you start Raptors, so your camp spawns at 4 minutes. This is a really important time we can actually type it down. So 4:20 is the moment, is the timer when first camp after buff spawns.
yeah.
So those are usually the time when people want to start going towards the to protect or to take out their leveled up camp. But yeah, I don't expect this to go really well because I'm kind of expecting Diana to be coming here because that's the only play she has available.
Mm,
Also, another thing, if you're playing again against a higher level jungler who understands what the waves mean, she would come here solely to counter the dive at least.
okay.
So again, I don't want to dive here because even though we killed the Diana, she still has recall. She has now a Dark Shield. She's a bit stronger, and of course we are in a diving position. So by default, we are a lot weaker than the enemy if the Diana does show up here.
Don't you think she will rush the scuttle bot side?
I don't think that's likely at all. So if you're thinking about if this was a high level player, she would obviously be here because,
Okay.
well, first of all, the cap is 1 minute from spawning up. She knows that you have no camps up on the bottom side. And the biggest thing is this wave, because
The
basically what
counter gank.
junglers, yeah, because basically this is really good what we are doing though. I like this, but the risk is still pretty large. Basically, we are kind of giving a really easy pathway for Diana to come back into the game, especially since we don't have this warded,
Okay.
right? We don't have this warded, so we don't actually know, right? So that's kind of the
I
risk here.
used I used to take the red sweeper, but now I like to keep the trinket to have vision a little bit on his on the enemy jungle because
Yep.
I like to invade with Belveth. Oh yeah, she's top.
Yeah, she actually came for the top scuttle instead of top crux, but yeah. So if she actually came started padding towards the crux instead of the scuttle, which again the first scuttle is pretty meaningless. She would have been able to catch all those minions and at least kill you, if not the choket as well. So again, really risky. We have to think about, okay, what kind of options does the enemy jungler here have? Pretty much the only real option for her was the crux here, but she opted for the scuttle, which is again not something I would do or a good jungler would do. But that's basically every time we have to kind of assess the risk when we go for the dive. Um, Diana has one camp up. So basically, if you think about kind of place yourself in the Diana shoes, you spawn here and you look at your map. There's only going to be one yellow mark here. So she's like, yeah, and these ones are minute away on her pleats or the timer or whatever. And she's like, oh fuck, whatever. I just go scuttle or something. But yeah, I wouldn't expect her to be here. But yeah, out of base, a really good recall. I like this. Even if we weren't this low, I would still take this recall as soon as possible.
Yeah, for the
Because we
clear
have the
speed.
noon quiver. Yeah, the noon quiver is a really big thing. And again, like we always want to, we kind of want to look for some ideal back. For example, on champions like Graves, it's like Dirk, Master Yi, Kindred, Belveth. We love to go for the noon quiver. This is a really good base. So again, really good that we do this, even though we are low, so we obviously have to do it. But
Yeah,
really like this.
I even I even take futures market with Belveth because I like to have
Mm.
this early spike to accelerate my clear speed.
Yep. Yep, I like this. The reason why I like going for level 1 camps instead of the leveled up ones, there were a few reasons for this, but basically in this specific situation, um, when you have 3 camps up here, which are all level 1, and then you have 2 leveled up camps here,
Yeah.
if you go for these camps first, it's gonna expand your gold and XP per hour kind of thing. But obviously, usually we want to go and protect the leveled up camps. But in this
Mm,
game, we knew that Dana is topside, so yeah, we have to go topside to protect the camp. So this is really good
yeah.
pathing decision here. Good decision to recall to defend. Defend camps on the side Diana is at. Again, really crucial that we know where Diana is and we want to match her on the side. Also, another thing which is really important that when we are ahead, when we kind of get an easy start like this or a really good snowball start, what we want to do when we're ahead in League of Legends, we want to match the enemy. So basically, I'm going to type it
Okay,
a
so
bit
he
up here.
never come back.
Yeah, kind of thing. So when ahead, we can just match her everywhere. So we want to match and deny. And when
Even like
behind, yep, go ahead.
even if it's in detriment to like snowballing in term of farm, you mean like I mean like instead of full clearing and getting full XP and gold, I will just wait like 20 seconds somewhere because I know that she's going to gank my laner that is weak, etc. That's what you mean? Because I
Uh,
already have a small lead. I don't want her to come back, or even if I could like full farm and increase even better the lead. Is it what you mean?
I'm meaning more so like we want to be on the same. We want to be clearing camps on the same side as Diana is. So
Okay.
basically, when we are top side, I want Diana to be top side when I'm ahead. So basically, when there is a gank option for either you or Diana, uh, you can be there to deny the Diana because again we are much stronger than they are. Obviously at this point we are not that much stronger. Like we did have a really good start here, but again like we are not that strong. But again, if we arrive to a game state where we are like 5-0 and stuff like that, then we can just go hyper aggressive and just match her anyway because that means they don't have any options left. They cannot really match you anyway. They cannot go for 3v3s, 2v2s because you are so far
Mhm.
ahead. So basically what you need to do is you need to avoid and trade. So that's basically what you should do in Dana's shoes, for example, here. So when you are bot side, Dana wants to be top side and maybe make a play on this guy here. Because again, she's not strong enough to match you. That's the kind of basic idea here. So obviously it's really like moment specific when we need to like clear our camps or when we want to match the enemy or stuff like that. But we are
Mhm.
probably gonna come to a situation like that. But in general, uh, I love looking at situations instead of giving these general rules because again, like they're really easily uh, misunderstood because people are like, oh, this guy told me to just match the enemy jungler when I'm ahead, and then they like end up doing nothing all game. So again, it's always gonna be situational. But yep, here let's go back to the game. So 4 minutes, good distance to recall defend camps on the Dana on this side Dana is. So yep, that's really good. So again, now we want to clear towards spot side. Drake is coming up in 15 seconds. Maybe we can look forward to it. So Diana gets flashed, gets pinged. Maybe we can punish that as well. Bot lane is looking kind of tough, so we probably don't want to invade because it looks like bot lane can really easily come collapses there. Okay, so let's see. So one really good ward I love to do. This ward right here, kind of
Mhm.
over this pine tree, and on bottom side or on the opposite side, I love to ward the crux. The reason why I love to reward these two camps is because they are usually the first camps people take off their rotation. So what people do is they come out of base, they take the cromp,
Yeah.
and then they can either go back to wolves and kind of start patting up. So again, you get the information, okay, they are not coming to gank bot, or they don't pat top. So that means they will be hanging around the bot side of the map, and that is the same as for the crux. They take crux and then they're like, oh, I go gank top side. Now you know, or they just keep climbing towards bottom. So those are my two favorite words in early game. But yep, here is obviously patting towards top. Maybe we can go for bot gank or for the trick. Okay, so let's see gank. Wow, that is a really lot of damage here. Let's see. I love this. I was not expecting uh
Like
Samira
I
just
saw
to die
Karma
there.
Root, so
Yeah, Karma really is really strong, and Karma in general with the ult Q, really good kill there, or really good gank here. Let's see, how can we replicate this? I'm gonna see. I guess Karma is fucking broken. I mean, she hasn't even recalled yet. I think. Holy shit, the damage is insane. But of course, yeah. So one thing I do love about Belveth, if you do fail the gank, if you do fail the W, it's really easy to just disengage. It's just Q
yeah,
back,
Q out.
yeah, it's just Q back twice and then you're gone. So yep, really good. Awesome. And really good flash. You definitely know your limits. So again, that's why we want to stick to a small champion pool. You really know your limits, and that's really important. Okay. Yep, we don't want to probably take the Drake here. We could take the Drake here, definitely,
No,
though.
I hate drakes.
Yeah, I know.
Like on Belveth, I had to take first Drake. I prefer to take camps than losing time doing Drake. I prio Herald a lot
Yep,
and
yep,
being on the map. Like I prefer doing that than Drakes. I like to contest them like second and third when enemy lose time doing it.
yep. Yeah, that's a pretty classic strategy, just kind of ignore the Drakes. But one thing to note here is that, so when we think about, again, every time we kind of decide, we have two plays available, the way we decide which one is better, we think of the gold value. We think of the gold value to determine the better play. So, for example, killing bot lane is always going to be way more gold value than taking the Drake. But then again, we have to consider, okay, do we take the Crocs or do we take the Drake, especially with the bot lane. So basically, the way I do early Drakes is after ganks like
Hmm.
this. So then I push in the wave, and then these guys can actually come help me, and it's not that painful as it would be taking solo. Again, I also never like to take the solo Drakes early on. It's so painful. But again, these guys could just come help you right now. Even
But
even
isn't it
Vel'Koz is
better
coming.
for them to just crash, recall, and match tempo the enemy bot lane?
They can do that, but again, like they still, I think they have time. If they come help you, and then the wave is going to be bouncing back. So what you can even do, if you really want to get technical about it, you could come back, help them breach off the wave, and then they get a
Yeah.
recall timer again. But again, like basically every time you crash the wave, these guys get a roam timer. So we call it a roam timer. So what they can do with the roam timer, they can use to take the Drake, they can use to get a cheat recall, or they can use to roam mid or whatever. So
Hmm.
basically, we have already created them a roam timer. I would like to use these guys, maybe get this Drake again. Still early Drake pretty good. Also, another thing is that we are not really in a hurry to go topside to defend anything. Herald is not up. Camp's 1 minute from spawning. I would really like to take the strike here. So those are kind of the good things, or kind of the good signs to taking the Drake here. No hurry to bot side. But yep, obviously as Belveth in general, and in carry junglers, with carry junglers usually you want to prioritize the Herald because that's obviously going to give you more gold, and that's what we want.
Yeah.
But yeah, in this specific scenario, I would just take the Drake. No hurry to top side, no camps to defend.
The thing about topside that scares me is that I know that Diana is top, and she might get an opportunity to gank mid or top. And I value more playing topside because of Herald, and I like to snowball with it. So I don't want them to get behind.
Yep.
And
Okay,
that's
so
why here I want like to get the last camp on this side of the map and then recall and match her top side.
yep. So again, we kind of have to think about the map state again. So if you put into Diana's shoes, who can you gank as Diana? If you're looking
For
at the
now,
map right
no
now.
one. Yeah.
Yep. For now, no one. The top wave is crashing. This guy's full HP here. I'm not sure about the wave state, but again, it's kind of irrelevant when you're playing this long range mage. Diana doesn't have six. She doesn't have any gank setup on any of these lanes. There's no way she's going to be able to dive the Cho'Gath here either, stuff like that. So again, like I'm not worried at all about the top side. I would just like to get this free Drake. So if you think about the Drake gold value, it's theoretically around 2.5k gold, but again, I don't really want to think about that.
One Drake?
Yeah, so it's gonna grant your
Well,
team 2.5k worth of combat stats. That's like the calculation.
for each of them, or do you know
No, no, no,
that?
like together, all together. But there's like a general value. Of course, it changes throughout the game. For example, if we are getting a mountain drink, um, we're getting a mountain drink and we have an Ornn or a Malphite, obviously it's always going to be more valuable and stuff like that. But that's like the general value. It's the drakes are really strong. Like individual drakes are really strong now. That's why I always want to grab them if they're like free like this. But yep, that's anyway, that's fine. But yeah, so now we are heading to the top side. So again, Herald 1 minute for spawning up. So that's what I want to think about. Again, the Herald. Again,
yeah,
we are ahead. So I want to be here as soon as possible. I want to take it as soon as possible. Get my snowball going on. So what I would like to do here when we are looking at the camp time is I probably would clear these camps again before going for the Herald. So what that means again. So we go back to this philosophy: when ahead, match and deny; when behind, avoid and trade. So again, if we were put to Diana's shoes, what you can do when you are on the Herald, she can invade your camp. So
yeah.
that's why we always want to take the camps on the opposite side down before we head to the objective. That's like a general rule again.
But the problem is the time I finish my top side here, the Herald may spawn and okay.
Okay, so we end up going for a play. Yeah. Okay, so that's like again like that's an ideal situation. Uh, Ideal situation. So basically, we want to have camps. So the big thing here is the want. We want to have camps. We can't always have that, but we want to have that if possible. So that's like the big thing here. We want to have camps down on opposite side of map. We're going
Mhm.
for objective. So again, takes one option away from enemy jungler. Takes one option away from enemy jungler. Especially if they are really far behind. If they do contest you, like it's just a suicide, right? So that's kind of the idea here. But yep, for some action, do we get a kill? Awesome. Diana's level 5. Yep, we can just take the
But
mark. No one's gonna kill us.
just in this case, if I clear full bot side, I will be late for Herald. Is it still a good idea to do it? Because maybe she won't do Herald if it spawns straight.
Oh,
Like what I'm scared about is to lose Herald because I'm going to bot side and get the red buff and the two other camps. So I prefer staying top just in case when the
yeah, yeah.
Herald when
Yep.
it's spawned straight, I'm there and get it because I know it's big power spike for Belveth.
Yep. Okay, so in this game specifically, again, we see Diana pathing top. So again, we have information that okay, there's no way she will ever be going for my camps here. And like this game, yeah, I mean, obviously we value the Herald being on time on Herald more than getting these camps down. But again, it's the
Mm.
ideal situation if we do have the
Yeah,
option. Yep. So that's kind of
depending
what
on
I,
the timer,
yeah, yeah.
etc. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. So that's kind of what we want to have. But again, we can't always have that. And in this game, we even see Diana going up, so we get visual confirmation. She's going to be topside. She might contest us on this Herald stuff like that. Yep, seems like she might be
Like
doing the
here,
gank.
I think she's going to gank, so I use it and counter. Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. Wow, was that intentional? If so, awesome.
No. I
Okay.
was more going for Diana because it's
Okay.
easier focus and I dodged the Malphite ult.
Yep. Yep. So again, a few good things about this is that we are waiting in the pressure. This is really good. So what I always have to do with my laners, I want to bait with their lives. I don't give a fuck if this
Mm.
guy dies. I want to bait these guys in so they know that okay, at least you get 2 kills. If we have to lose this one soldier, so be it, man. War is awful, man. But yeah, this is really good. So we are waiting out of vision patiently. This is really good skirmishing, and I love that. Really good. So this is what we always have to do, especially when we are becoming the win condition. Like we are really fucking far ahead as Belveth. We want the money. I don't really care about my Joker dying if that means I get the double kill, right? So again, value your own gold over your teammates dying, especially when you
That's
are the win
basically
condition.
my playstyle, Velvet.
Yep.
Like,
Yep, but that should be your playstyle. This is a really snowbally win condition champion. Really good skirmishing. Waiting for enemy to commit out of vision before showing our hand. So that's basically what we always want to do. Really well played there. I love that. And that's what we want to replicate.
after the kill, I had two options: either doing Drake or invading and get all her buffs. And I questioned myself here. I was like, usually I would go Herald just to save it because I know that Belveth really need it to snowball. But what I learned recently is like I should push my snowball even further.
Yep.
And for me, the next step was to even deny, even if the herald is up. I know that she can't do it if I'm around. So I was
Yep.
like, should I
Exactly.
take red and Raptors? End
Taking
up
these
doing
three
it.
camps is like fucking insanely snowballing for you, and it's game over for the enemy
Yeah.
Diana
Okay.
pretty much. So yeah, so this is what we call an 8 minute invade. So again, like kind of a general jungle timer is that first buff is gonna spawn around 7 minutes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they started blue side. So what that usually means is that people also usually hit level 6 around this time as junglers, so 7 to 8 minutes. So what it usually means that these camps are going to be up at 7 minutes, right? So they take these 3 camps, and these camps are going to spawn at 8 minutes. But people always do, like pretty much so fucking often, it's like an actual strategy now, the 8 minute invade. So what people do a lot of the time is they make a play after taking these 3 camps. They don't even care about these 3 camps. And so these
Mhm.
3 camps will always be up at 8 minutes unless they actually take them. So again, like this is another thing we can also replicate into our games. The Herald spawn means that the opposite side of the starting side is gonna be spawned or gonna be spawned. It's kind of complicating, I know, but just so you know, this is an actual strategy and something we can definitely replicate in the future. The 8 minute
Mhm.
invade.
if they start from the opposite.
Yep,
And you were talking about the ward. I like to put the pink where I just put it here. I
yep.
didn't
I love
think
the pink a
about
lot.
warding the golems where, like you said. And my question is, where do you put it? Is it right on the pit, or is it like you have to come from try bush, go to the other bush, and you ward the bush? Like, where do you
Yep.
usually put it? Is it on this bush we see on the corner, or is it
So
on
I
the
just
pit?
run like this usually, and I drop it right here. So boom,
Okay, so in the pit
that's
of
it.
the golems. Okay.
Yep. But yeah, that's mostly for that's mostly an early game ward. You can definitely drop it later on in the game as well. But how I like to transfer my ward usually, especially when the buff is starting respawning, I love this ward as well. I love this ward a lot. I
Hmm.
usually place my pink there as well because it goes unspotted so many times. It's
Yeah.
insane. But yeah,
Same goes for the one at blue in the bush in front of the Drake. I don't
yep,
know if you see where I'm
yep,
talking about.
yep. I know. Yep, yep. That's
Like
another
when
one.
I'm shifting my focus away from Herald because it's down, I move my pink around Drake so I know when she's trying to do it.
Yep. I usually leave my pink here for a long time. So one thing, also another thing I love to do is I love this early pink so I can get this ward down specifically. But usually what I do is I don't usually buy pink wards when I'm playing carry pick until like Baron. I don't really care that much about vision. Obviously, it's good to have pinks, but uh, when we are playing carry picks, we want to snowball as hard as possible. Also, a good pick here, a lot of good vision there. We placed. I love to do that. But yeah, I usually have only like a 1 to 3 pings per game when I'm playing something like
Okay.
Belveth Kindred, uh, Crave, something like that. Really cold dependent junglers. So yep, again, I would leave this ward here as long as it takes. I wouldn't even buy a new ward.
I don't know if I move my pink in this game, but we'll see. I don't remember.
Yep. So
I'm
this
just
is
pinging
again,
bot because I know that I got all topside and
yeah.
he
So
might
again,
trade for Drake.
so this is really good, and this is we are going back to match and deny here, right? So we've been doing match and deny for a while now, right? You can
Mm.
see how that's been working out for us when we were
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
So we countered the play here on the top side. We took their camps, we killed them again. Now we get to take the objective. We use our roam time again, like how we talked about bot lane having roam time. This is kind of when we have a roam time when we kill the enemy jungler. So again, now
Mhm.
we have freedom on the map. We take the objective, really good. So we instantly recall and we go defend our campsite again to deny her from any options she might have here on the bottom side of the map. So again, really good stuff. This is what we want to do. I don't give a shit about his camps. I want to deny the Diana. I want to find her. I want to kill her. We are so far ahead. There's nothing she can do at this point anymore if we just keep fighting her. Really good. This is really good macro actually here. I love this call. Also, another thing to note, of course, is that we have Kraken Slayer here, which is awesome. So far,
Yeah,
I'm
I
really
recall for
amazing
the
game.
spike
Yep,
and to match bot.
yep, really good. Uh, ditching top camps. Match Diana, who we know will be bot side. And again, the next objective is on the bot side. So usually what we want to do as junglers, we want to play around the objective timers. The easiest way to kind of lure enemies into you when you are fed is to just take the objective on timer pretty much. So after this
Okay,
Drake, for example, that's when we want to start kind of grouping up for the objective as
okay.
soon as they spawn.
Can you just pause here?
Yep.
Because I remember you know like this weekend you reviewed my video of my VOD of Belveth,
Oh,
and
okay. Let's see.
the
All right.
point you yeah, that was me. You pointed that I never do my camps. Like sometimes I have 6 camps up, and this is the same case. And I don't know if it's situational or not, but here, for example, I ditch also bot camp because I want to match Diana at Drake or her camp or the bot if she's ganking them. So
Mhm.
I don't know if it's the correct play here, but instead of taking my bottom camps, I prefer to match on the map.
Yeah. So again, it's always situational, but in this situation, I like this because again, what the laners are going to do, they're going to use the kill conversion rate. They want to push in the wave again. They might
Mm.
want to get some plates. And one more thing here is that I would probably maybe even look into use Herald here. So again, we have a lot of value to be gained from the map right now outside of our camp. So again, I don't really mind this. I actually like this that we are ditching a camp. So that's just like um, goes further to say that uh, macro in this game is super game specific, so there are no
Hmm.
like uh, win everything, do all strats, stuff like that. But yep, for example, now the play is over, and again we know Dana is going elsewhere. So now again, maybe now I can look to do whatever. Maybe I go hit my top camp since Dinah is there, or maybe I take the Drake now that Dinah is top. So again, make that decision. But again, yeah. So at some point we also have to realize that okay, there is no play to be made anymore since we already drove her out of the jungle here. Maybe we take the objective. Maybe we place the herald. But again, I want to do something soon. But yep, so we end up going for her and matching her on the top side to deny this evade. So again, match and deny. So this is basically it again. Really good. Yep.
Yeah, I thought she was at my blue here, so I wanted to deny.
Yep, this is fine. Again, I would probably take my old camps here. I'm not sure what the Belveth. Oh, you're giving it away.
I'm
Okay.
giving him the blue.
Okay. I thought you were thinking of ganking the Vladimir there, but yep. Yep. So now again, we can kind of wait for the bot lane to become active. Okay, Diana shows top. Okay. Again, we have freedom on the bottom side of the map. We can do whatever we want. Really good.
I think from here I start to not optimize my time because she's starting to get ganks off. Like for example, top, I didn't see it coming because I was like, it's a tank, he will just leave away, and I didn't see the gank coming. So I'm trying to answer with the Drake, but you will see that I start really well, but she starts to get like ganks off here and there, and I didn't know how to answer this. Like I did here with the Drake, but later you will see that I'm a bit throwing my lead.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, at this point of the game, I don't really care about my Joker dying here. Again, it's a tank top lane. I don't really mind that too much. If we get the Drake, it's already a really good trade. So again, I'm more than willing to take this trade. Because again, our top laner is a low economy pick. It doesn't really matter that much if he falls behind, especially when he's into another tank. So again, this is basically what Diana is doing. Is he's going for the avoid and trade here, right? So she's taking the suboptimal play because she can't afford to come and make the optimal play and fight for the Drake because she's too weak, right? Yep. Okay. Yeah, we can probably look for the bot dive even. Again, probably want to use Herald somewhere. Okay, we find her again. Look at the flash.
She's
We
greedy.
can't quite get the kill. Yep, can we run away? Oh no, we can't.
I got charmed, I think.
Okay, so I think when I reviewed your game on stream as well, we talked about the small wins mindset. So for example, here again, we get the flash, she's out of the play, maybe we can. So yeah, we definitely are tunneling a bit here, but again, it's a common mistake to make. I wouldn't worry too much about it, but definitely something you want to kind of start to actively think about is that okay, we get the flash, we got a lot of HP of them, they can't really do anything. Maybe we just shift down, dive the bot, stuff like that. Again, if you're absolutely sure that you can get away with it, then go ahead and do it. But again, I kind of like this kind of limit testing, and obviously that's something we also want to do, and that's going to add to your champion mastery. But yep. So now we really have to hurry and use this Herald, otherwise we are going to run out of time. So I'll probably start running towards mid here just to get some plates with the Herald. Vladimir is also pretty low HP, so he won't be able to defend either. So again, I would like to use this Herald. Some things to notice, maybe this alarms you. Yep. Yep. But one thing, always the 14 minutes time, you have to keep that in mind. Yep.
Yeah, and I learned that if you put the Herald in the tower aggro range at 1350, it will work.
Yep. It takes 10 seconds for the charge to complete. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, here I greeted the push on the Herald and I get punished for it. Maybe I even greeted the kill and that's what killed me.
Yeah, we are kind of put into a bad situation to begin with because we ran out of time on the Herald. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean the only really bad thing I can see in this play is that we don't have Q stacks to run away. We do now.
I think the bad play is to go again in. Like I got baited a little bit by the hit of the spell, and I was like, okay, I'm fed, I can one-shot him, but I did not, so I had no Q to escape.
Okay, that was really close though. But yeah, again, probably not worth trade to begin with, because it's a support. But again, the kind of hindsight review here, so I don't really want to go into there. But yep. So again, now is a good time. We have died 2 times in a row after having an amazing start. So what we need to do now is now is a good time to think about, okay, how do I relax? How do I make this game more structured? how do I kind of make the consistent play? And again, the most consistent play, go for the objectives. Just player on the
Nash.
objective time as yeah. Not even Nash. It's going to be the second Herald only out. We had a 7-2
Oh
so
yeah.
early into the game. But
It's
yeah,
been like long, yeah.
yeah. So what we want to do again, okay. So we just died 2 times in a row. This is a pretty good idea to okay. Maybe I need to relax. Maybe I just need to get my gold up, and stop forcing so much. So yeah, that's another thing we can do now. But yep, again, what we want to do is junglers this player on the objective time as. So yep, we did or did not get counter jungled by the Diana. We did not. Okay. So yep, Diana is topside. Again, I don't really care. Now I want to hit my camps because now again we've been making plays for so long. That's another good indication. If you're making plays for a long time,
Mhm.
just like take some time. Okay, I need to go back to my day job. The way I put this is that making plays is kind of like your weekend at spa, and hitting
Yeah,
camps is your 9 to 5. So yeah, we had our we had our weekend at the spa, but now we need to go back to our day job. So hitting the camps, making some gold. Again, the
back to
consistent
work.
play. Yeah. Yep, just defending turret. And we can fish for a W. Okay, she ulted.
I got ulted there.
Yeah. Yep. Again, good. So this is again, this is a small win, right? So we're actually learning throughout the game. We got the ult, awesome. Now he doesn't have ult for this Herald fight, for example.
Yeah,
Again, we can always punish
small win.
even yeah, even when we don't get the big win, we kill the enemy, they're out of the game. We can still go for the small wins and utilize them. Really good.
I see Jana bot, so free Herald and Sping.
Yep, Danabot, we can trade for the Herald. So again, I wouldn't worry
That's
too
what
much
I'm.
about it. Yeah, I mean, I can see how the Diana is getting away with the ganks
Yeah,
now, but that's just like your bot being kind of overextending and not respecting at all your position on the map. But again, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Again, I think this is the better play to make. Just go consistently for the objective and especially the Herald. I wouldn't
it
worry
was the
too much
same
about
for the
this.
Drake. Like the correct play is to play safe on the opposite side, which did not. With the Shogat did not. Same for bot lane. When Herald is up, they have to respect and yeah.
Yep, yep. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Again, we have to focus on what we can actually impact in the game. It's not going to be our teammates' mind. Really good skirmish. One thing to know, always when you're going for these 2v2s, I think we talked about it in the other review, is I want to
Yep.
play when this guy has ult. I want to make the play when this guy has ult.
Yeah, you're right. I don't look enough to my allies ult.
Yep,
That's a point to take.
yep, that's definitely important to take. So I'm going to write it up as well here. Um, be aware of teammate ults. I even a lot of the time I decide my pathing on who has ult and who is about to get ult. For example,
Mm.
an Ashe is getting ult or Varus is getting ult. I just look to path towards their lane, so maybe we can make a play with the ult or stuff like that. So again, we have to be aware of that as well.
Like I do that on their level 6 hit, but after that during the game I forget about it because I think like most of my early games look like this. I get strong, but I don't think about is my ally strong enough to help,
Yeah,
like with an ult or anything like that.
are in position to help. Okay. Oh, yeah. See, the quality is going a bit bad. We can maybe see what's going on. I wouldn't go and. Well, actually,
I wanted to try because I had flash
yeah.
just to steal. I managed to get it. I don't know how because I failed my smite, but I got it with my E.
Actually, the reason why I wouldn't want to do this in this game is because we have the Herald ult. That's
Ah,
the only
you're
reason
right. Yes, 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 yes.
why I wouldn't want to do this.
Yeah, dying with Herald
Yeah, it's not
passive
good.
is not good.
But yeah,
But I
normally
thought I
I
could
will
escape with
yeah.
flash and Q, but I did not.
Yeah, but again, so we are kind of putting ourselves in a situation where we have to basically mechanically perform like Faker. So that's that's
So here, what's the correct play? Just give the Drake because my ally are not all here.
so basically how we would play this, we would need to play it a lot slower because again we don't have the ults. None of these guys have ult. Obviously, Karma
Mm.
is going to be up soon. But we have to play around the ult timers, especially when we arrive to the team fights. So unless you know specifically that someone doesn't have ult here, for example, the Diana, I think the
Mhm.
Diana actually doesn't have ult here.
Yeah,
But
she's the top, I think.
Yeah, but also they have a lot of ults, we have no ults. So again, another really important ult here is the Xayah ult actually, because they have a strong dive with the Diana Rakan, so that can really turn the tables. But yeah, again, the ult timers I think, and just playing it more slow, kind of regroup with your team. So I would like to be here with my team, kind of be ready to the Rakan diving, for example, we can maybe stop the dive with the W, use QE, whatever countermeasures we can do there. But here we are so disconnected from our team because we are the only ones who are able to jump this wall, right? So in these kind of objective fights, and in general in early game skirmishes and whatnot, we want to be able to hit the target our team is able to hit. Our team is able to
Hmm.
hit or hitting already. So that's kind of the basic idea. So basically, we get to nuke someone who is hitting us. But here, for example, you can see how okay your team's getting like fucking feasted here, and we are not really able to do anything. That's because our positioning, not because the bad is or the fight is necessarily bad, but because we are not connected with our team.
Do you think they would change their way of playing if I was in front to back with my team? Because here I was trying to play with the strength of Belveth being able to dash on the wall by baiting the enemy in the pit. Then my team's engaged, then I follow from this, but they got engaged hard, and then I return to Drake to try to steal it because my team can't follow up.
Mm,
Do you think it would change something if I was in front to back? And the problem with Belvet is I can't tank much, so I have to engage second and arrive like when the play is done, or sometimes engage if I know that I'm stronger and I can burst the guy with my allies. But
mhm.
here I don't think I can like face the enemy team
Yeah.
if I'm the front laner
So the issue
because
we are
Shogat is not here
yeah
for sure.
yeah
I
yeah
think he
Shogun
has
is not here.
TP if you look to the tab. Like he recall and has TP. I'm not sure about that, but I think.
I just had a minion in the top lane as well. I don't think he cares. But um, but yeah, I mean the issue we are creating with this positioning is that basically we are in two groups right now, right? And they
Yeah.
have Rakan. That's the only issue here. They have Rakan. They have Rakan into with Diana. So they have really strong force. So what they can do, they can either strong force you, and then these guys will be disconnected, or they will strong force the enemy team, and then these guys will
Mm.
be disconnected, right? So basically, the only time we want to be positioning us kind of disconnected from our team is when we are looking for a flank. But I don't think we want to be looking towards to running through the entire enemy team to kind of chase. Because if we were chasing here, it's going to be a disaster anyway, right? Because our team is already all the way here. They have to disengage because Rakan engage, Vladimir ult, stuff like that. So again, in general, I would just like to be connected with my team. Uh, and this is what you also want to do if you're the enemy. So what do you want to do when they are split like this? Is like hard focus or hard force on the or on one of the groups.
Hmm.
So this is a really common scenario. For example, on early Drake, what happens is that you are taking the Drake with your team. The mid laner is roaming with the jungler from the mid, and the body's coming. You just kill one of them, right? That's kind of the idea here in the objective fights, which is go and turn one of them. So that's why I would like to stick with my team, especially because they have such strong force in their team and initiation with the Rakan. So it would be the same if they had something like Wukong, for example, Maokai, stuff like that. I don't want to be disconnected from my team. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't want to be disconnected from my team. So basically, how you could position, you could be, for example, you could be waiting here, right? So then you
That,
can dash over the wall, and then you could maybe affect the play. But again, like when we are in the track and bit here, and we are kind of
I
like
think
waiting for the fight to happen. Yep.
that's what I'm trying to do by staying here, and because they didn't force their fight, I see them going back to Drake. I'm like, okay, I have to go back and contest it solo because my team is out. But maybe like in the second step, when I see my team that is too low HP to contest, maybe I should just leave and go farm my camps somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like here, like here, do you think the best decision is not to flip here 50-50 and just get out and go farm?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's going to always be the more consistent play. So again, what we want to look out for.
Okay,
Uh,
consistency.
Yeah, because obviously, if you do, I mean, there's a chance that we get away, but again, it's about chance. And
Hmm.
when we have chance, and then we have guaranteed in the camps, again, what we want is the guaranteed, of course. Especially when the
Okay.
chances are kind of low, when we are just like diving into four people, right? So this makes it chances pretty low for this to work. We do get it though, which is nice, but again, it's really flippy, and now we are dead and we cannot gain any gold or XP whatsoever, right? So this
Yeah.
is obviously bad. So the biggest bad sign there is that we are just jumping into 5 people are looking for the steal. So this is what people love to do. They love to go for the steal, but it's this death is not as bad. But what people always love to do is when the both objectives are up, and people are fighting over the Drake, the jungler just jumps over the wall, tries to steal it, fucking dies, and then you get the free Baron. So that's
Yeah.
something you definitely want to avoid to the max. Never fucking die when the Baron is spawning up, especially to a Drake trying to steal it. It's probably never gonna be worth it, even if it's all point.
I usually call for trading third Drake for Nash because I know that Belveth with the Nash buff can end quickly if we get it. So like I don't play for Drakes because I end my games when I snowball in 20 or 25 minutes.
Yep.
So I don't play them. But here I don't know. We had the first one. I was thinking maybe we should get the third and second.
No, we don't have the passive ult.
I
Yep.
thought I had it
Yeah.
and it faded.
Yeah, the one thing about Drakes is that I don't really like Drakes myself either, but they are just like such a strong win condition when you do start stacking them up. So for example, when you arrive to the 15 minutes of the game and it's kind of looking tight, like, oh, how do I win this? Like, what's there to
Mm.
do? And then you're like, oh, we are 2 trackers away from Soul. So that's kind of the idea behind going for trackers, is that it's kind of a insurance in a win condition. Okay, I guess the E is kind of grief there,
Yeah, I
using
misplayed.
web. Yeah. Yep, I wouldn't worry too much about it. But yep, now we're running out of Herald. So what we can probably do, we can use it on the bottom side uh, to kind of play for the Baron.
Yeah, it's going bot, and I think I ping Nash or like ping mid into Nash. I
Yep,
wanted Vel'Koz to get tower, then we go Nash, like get mid prio, push, and get go Nash.
yep,
And Shogat can push with the Herald, then we get the Nash.
yep. Again, at this time of the game, this is something I also do all the time when I go for Heralds, especially. I find myself having stealth wards at 20 minutes when the Baron spawns. Obviously, this is not what we want. We usually want Oracle at this point so we can actually participate in clearing out the vision.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely don't want to have stealth wards at this point unless my team already has like three Oracles. Probably don't. We probably don't have that. Awesome. Okay. So now what do we need to do? We need to wait for someone to show up here for the push. That's what we need to do. Let's see. So basically the way you siege with Baron is I don't want you to force down the turrets, especially unless we don't have like Gillette, Malphite, uh,
Mhm.
Malphite, Rakan, whatever. Like really strong dive or force like that. But what we want to do instead, I'm gonna watch this play. So yeah. So this is what happens when we don't wait for someone to show up on the side lane. We get really hard collapse if we stay kind of on the offensive note here. And the really
Like
horrendous thing here is that we lose everything now. But yep.
it's strange because I know that it's the correct thing to do. Like I was waiting, pinging back
Mm,
my allies because I wanted the Shogat to push, but like they got caught, and I see someone low HP, so I'm like,
yeah.
okay, I'm fed. Maybe I can turn the fight solo, and like it doesn't happen.
Yep. I mean, so this is probably what I think we talked about compensating last time. So yeah, this is exactly it. So my teammate gets caught out, so I'm like, oh fuck, now I need to salvage this. It's probably not gonna happen.
Like here, I'm backing because I know that they can collapse, but I see them dying, and I'm like, okay, I should try.
Yeah, we
Like,
probably shouldn't go in here anymore. Yeah, we do get a kill here, almost see, but yeah, again, it's kind of again we are most likely gonna die unless
yeah,
like yeah, we're just gonna die. There's 5 people there. 2 of us are already dead. Joker is nowhere near. Yep, yep. Again, it's not too bad. One thing also, when you go for the Baron, what I rarely want to do is I don't want to start the fight immediately after. I usually want to recall because
yeah, recall.
yeah, but in this game I think all of us were dead a bit before, so we probably don't have a
Yeah,
buy. But yeah, most cases
yeah.
don't want to go into fighting straight after Baron.
We came from Drake recall, like Drake fight,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and I had like 300 gold. It's not much.
yep, yep. So do we have 2 or 3 tracks at this point? I want to see the
I think
tab.
2.
Okay.
Wait, how many? Oh, maybe 3. It depends. Because I got the first one, stole one, and maybe I did the red. No, maybe
We have
two.
two.
Two. I did red and stole one, so only two.
Yep, yep. But again, we lost half of the Baron, or more than half. So probably we just want to go for the objective again. Player on top objective time is really important. Top lane doesn't have TP here, so I would like him the group here. Let's see what he does. So this is really
That
important as well.
Velko's TP. I don't know why.
What's going on? Yep. But yeah, that's something you always want to check out for when your laner goes to the top side of the map. When the Herald is spawning up, just like double check if they actually have TP. They might not even know themselves. But yeah, at least we want to know, so we are not expecting it if it is down.
I think here I learned from the previous Drake. Like I ping them to like just give, and
Yep.
we don't die. So
Yep, really awesome. And Dixai is actually pushing up the mid wave. Choke is getting the top turret is really good actually. So it's
I'm trying
big
to
win for
guide
the
them
Choke.
by pinging, but maybe it annoys them because sometimes people mute me because I spam ping when the jungler
Yeah.
is ganking bot, what they have to push, and
Yeah, I hate that
like the
when that
macro.
happens. They just don't know when it happens though. Themselves. They're completely clueless. But yeah. So now again, I think we talked about it. I'm not sure if we talked about it. But what I always love to do, I want to get these tier 2s down on the side lanes. Because they grant 600 gold, right?
Yeah.
So the most gold value objective is going to be the tier 2, obviously after Baron, which gives you the most. But yeah, we want to get this down. Maybe I don't really care about the top lane anymore. Top lane is absolutely meaningless at this point. Again, I don't really think about the inhibs. What I think about is a tier 2, especially when they are still standing up. So that's what I want.
What I don't like this game was a bad Herald game because sometimes I play them better and don't run off time because I was focused on something else. What I like to do is get the plates for me on the first Herald and get the T2 solo just to
Yep,
snowball really hard with Belveth.
yep, yep, and that's what you want to do. Yep,
Like it's a little bit selfish, but I know that I can carry if I get the items, so
yeah, that's how we
I
want.
try.
That's how we need to play this champion because it's such a feast of a mean champion. We have to get strong, otherwise we are kind of meaningless in the game. But yep, Cho'Gath ends up getting both of the tier 2s. He has a new
Yeah.
Mercedes now waiting in base. It's fine. So again, okay, we can maybe relax. Try to create some vision. Maybe create picks around the Baron and stuff like that. Again, at this point now, there's pretty much nothing to do. So we have both the tier 2s down. I don't really have any objectives except for the actual objective. So again, I just want to play for the Baron.
Or here, we should stay passive and wait for Baron spawn.
Yep, so what you could do basically in these kind
Okay.
of situations, you can just go and invade the camps, because obviously Dyna is not going to be able to come there if you're just hitting the camps there. Keep pushing in the waves, kind of keeping them out of the jungle until the objective spawns. And then when they have to come, they have to face check a lot of stuff. Maybe we pick them there, stuff like that. But yeah, basically what we do now is that we are basically not as aggressively gaining our lead, but at least we are stopping the enemy from really gaining anything by taking all these camps down and making sure that they cannot establish any vision around the Baron and stuff like that. But for example, here it is really risky that we are pushing all the way here because again, if we do get caught, then the tables are turned. Now the enemy has control. Maybe they can make us face check and maybe we lose the game and stuff like that. So yeah,
Okay.
we want to play it pretty slow here. Our team is obviously getting a bit excited.
I mean, I put the pink ward here just so they don't have vision and can free engage, and I'm trying to play backwards. Like, I'm really not forcing the towers.
Yep, and that's what
I'm
we
just
want to
like
do.
clearing the waves that are coming and hovering just to defend one of them.
Yep, yep. So this is really good actually. We are kind of minimizing our teammates' mistakes here by just being around. But yeah, now we don't want to fight Xyzis on the base. I really want to ping danger.
I'm trying to ping this.
Yep. Good.
Ping back.
Good. Awesome. We disengage. Really good. Yep. And now again, the Baron is already up. So now maybe we want to play for it. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of pings here. Do they listen? Who knows?
Maybe. I'm heading Baron because I see it now. Oh,
Oi, oi,
I
oi,
think I
oi.
get cold here.
Yep. So again, we have to be really, really careful as a junglers when we are making aggressive plays and going into aggressive position when the Baron is up, because our death usually means that the enemy gets a Baron, and that
Yeah.
can really easily swing the game around like entirely. So yeah, again, just be hyper aware of your teammates' positions, and again, maybe don't dash twice forward. You're probably gonna die, right? Just be
Yeah.
really, 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 really careful.
Yeah.
As junglers,
Any death post 25 minutes is like a comeback for them. So yeah.
yep. And even if we are like really far ahead, at least what's gonna happen is we're gonna add at least 5 minutes into the game by giving up the
Mm.
Baron. Shang, and obviously the chance that the enemy might actually win. So yeah, obviously we have to be really, really careful. As junglers, we need to be really careful.
Another
Try,
thing, I think I tried to kill Vlad here because I know that before Nash we have to make a kill, like pick up someone and then we can Baron. And I thought that his team was off tempo, and it happens a lot of time to me when I think like in late game that an enemy is off tempo and they all pop up behind him and I
mm-hmm.
get like one shot
Yeah,
because I'm trying to make a pick.
yeah.
So
So
maybe I
again,
should stop.
yeah. So what we should do there is we just rely on the visual confirmation. So if you do actually see that they are basing on vision, then yeah, then we can go for the aggressive play. But again, always expect the worst.
Yeah, in fog.
Yeah, yeah. Always expect the worst in the fog. Especially around the late game objective times. The challenge we need to be really careful of dying around. Oh, dying when Baron is up. So yeah. But yeah, so now we just have to kind of wait around for the objective, and now they are kind of forcing. So the difference with our team versus their team is that they do have that really strong mid lane force. Okay, let's see here.
It's another time I think I can catch someone and I get gold.
Yeah, so we see a lot of people here again who can help us. No one can help us. Yeah.
I'm a bit surprised by my damage falling here because I thought
Yeah,
I could
actually.
one shot Rakan, but I was like, what the fuck is like? How is he that tanky?
What is he? Okay, he has Ages. What is this? Ages of Legion? What is this?
Polari, I
No,
think it gives the shield.
Locket. Yeah. So he's really
Locket.
tanky here. Yeah, he has an actual tank mythic basically. So he has the same amount of HP as you do. To be fair, we haven't built any HP, but he's a support. But yeah, I was actually expecting we just kill him as well, but then I was still afraid of maybe we just die there anyway, and we just traded jungler for support, so that's another thing which is obviously not good.
Mhm.
Let's see, can our team salvage this though? Looks like they can. Unless Vladimir is becoming a problem. But yeah,
Things are
again,
fun.
yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Uh, if we were thinking that okay, maybe we can kill him and get away, but again, just be hyper aware of your teammates' positions. Like it's so detrimental to be dying at this time. Like we have to be extra careful. Like early game, you can kind of int around. I don't really care if you have 0 or 2-5 coming into the 10th minute. It doesn't matter as much because during those 5 deaths, you haven't lost as much as you do uh, at this time when you die when you're dead for 50 seconds. That can lose you the game instead of 2 camps, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So again, we have to really value our life at this point.
I'm
Yes.
trying to create pressure on the map here, but like as soon as I see them collapsing on me, I run.
Yep, really good. So one thing, how I approach kind of these lanes, especially when lanes are neglected like this, for example, the bot or the side lanes really tend to be neglected like this. So how can you fix this wave? Is you just push this one wave over the river, and that will actually end up causing a slow push, which will cause
Mm, okay.
pushing in the turret. But one more thing is you can do, you should click these minions. So when you click it, there's like a champion box here, right? And then you can see
Hmm.
if the minion has like any meaningful damage buffs. So the minion buffs can go up to like 30%. So that's another thing which you can kind of use to tell, okay, now the waves will push. But what I do, I just do this. I will push this over the river, and then I just instantly leave. Because again, if I do end up walking here, it's already a really risky move.
Hmm.
And the other thing is this wave will actually have to be responded to by someone. So that's a pretty easy trick.
What is the minion buff you talked about? I didn't know, I think.
Uh,
Like you said, if you click a minion, you see if he has 30% buff. What is this coming
yeah,
from?
I can show you. I'm not sure what it is calculated on. Let's definitely see. League of
I'm not a
Legends.
laner, so maybe I'm not aware of those minion things.
Yeah, League of Legends minion buff. So basically, I think it's based on like kind of like the bounty. So they are based on the lane opponent's difference in turrets and XP and gold. But let's see, do they actually talk about the
Oh, yeah.
bonus damage? What is this? So yeah, but they have two buffs basically. They have damage reduction and then they have bonus damage. So those are the two buffs they have. Let's say team level advantage. So it's team level advantage. Um, but yeah, I mean it's calculated on who's kind of winning the match, and then they have automatically pushing out waves basically. But yeah, there's
Okay.
definitely something you can look at. So you just left click this and you get this info box here like you would get on a champion, you know? And there you can see the buff.
Okay. Okay. So you know that if you push only one wave and they have the buff, it will create a slow push because they are stronger and will hold the wave, and on our side it will stack. Or how do you know that how far you can push and how
Um,
the
yeah,
slow?
I mean the general rule is just always over the free buff. It doesn't really matter
Okay.
of the minion buff. Obviously, if the minion buff is really strong, then the minion buff will always win out anyway. But
Mhm.
for example, in this game, I don't think we have a really big minion buff since the XP is kind of even in this game and the turrets as well, right?
Okay.
But yeah, that's definitely something you can kind of add into your playbook. For example, if you're running out to catch a wave here, which is stuck like frozen here, then you check, oh, blue side minions have like 30% minion buff. There's no way I'll make it there. Like the waves already be all over, all the way here by the time you make it out of base. Stuff like that.
Mhm. Okay. I didn't know about it. It's interesting.
Yep. Okay, so now we have to think about the objective. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, no way we freeze here. What's going on? I think it might be my end. Okay, let's see. Okay, no one dies. It's a Christmas miracle.
I think I ping back because I see Shogat pushing, so I just want them to survive and let Shogat push.
Yeah,
And
this is a really difficult game though because our team comp kind of sucks compared to theirs, especially when it comes to team fighting. They have a really strong team fight here. So let's see how do we have to play this out. Yep, I think we just have to concede this Drake now.
yeah, they're really strong.
Yeah, the Vladimir is really, really strong. Yep, it's not a soul. It's not a soul, so it doesn't feel as bad. Let's see. Let's see. Can we catch the solo guy?
No, I want to ignore and help my team.
Yep, good. Yep, again, kind of the small wins mindset there. Really good. Let's see. I think we could just enter through mid here. I'm pretty sure. Or top. Do we end the game?
I think.
Surely we do. Okay, we do. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Not much about the late game. Just that. Oh, late. Push over. It's just that we have to be a lot more careful around dying when the Baron is up. We have to be a lot more careful. And the other thing is that we have to be way more aware, or we have to always be aware of our teammates' position. Again, to make sure that if we do die, at least like my team is nearby to make maybe they can clean up the play or something like that. We have to be a lot more careful dying late game. And again, they fixed that we have to be more aware of our team's position. But yeah, so I'm gonna give you a few learning objectives. So these are the ones I would like you to focus on in the next games.
Mhm.
Again, I think we had some previously what I sent you on the stream. Let's see,
Yeah.
what did I say? What did I say?
It was about taking my camps more
hmm
and take the
Small
small
win.
win, like not
Okay.
follow
Yeah,
the
we're gonna go back
chase
to the small
people.
wins. It's gonna stay here. Small wins. So again, yeah, just if we get out, if we get an ult, flash, drive someone, make someone recall, we don't always have to finish up the play again. Like we can utilize that in other ways. For example, we make the Diana recall, we can just take the camps or stuff like that. We don't always have to
Mm.
go for the kill. So again, that's gonna stay. That's definitely something we have to kind of work with. What else would be here? Um,
I took this game because it characterized a lot my games and maybe why I'm not smurfing my games and I'm stuck where I am. It's because like I'm consistent with getting a lead early game. Like I know how to track the enemy jungler, invade matchups, etc. But I throw my lead or I don't know how to end in late game. And that's why I picked up Belveth. It's because with this champion I managed to get a lot of towers and this make the difference like I can end by taking like towers,
yep.
but in this game I didn't manage to use herald properly, but like my big weak point is mid and late game. I don't know how to finish even with a big lead.
Yep. So again, like the safest way to do that. So this is what I was doing when I was smurfing through Platinum Diamond. What I did that I was just if I even went for the objective in mid to late game, or let's say mid game, when the objectives come like team fight objectives, I've just found my camps. Like I would
Mm,
permanently have high CS numbers. So that's basically the safest way. Again, like the most consistent way is just focus on the CS and just uh, basically look for ways that when the objective is up, you don't have anything else to do in the map. Basically, that's kind of the goal, and that's kind
okay.
of the idea. So basically, just always think about the next objective. Always think and plan around the next objective. So basically, what I talked about with the herald, so stuff like that. For example, when we talked about the
Yeah,
first herald, so like I want to have
don't
my
leave
bot
the
camps up or down before I take the herald, stuff like that. So again, like maybe
mm,
we can look for ways to kind of doing that more. But again,
okay.
I think the biggest kind of mid game issue we had here is when we went for that wild goose hunt on the Diana here in the jungle and just ended up running around a lot mindlessly, not doing really anything. That was the biggest thing. So again, like at some point we have to cut the play and go back to our day job. So that's another thing.
Mm, farming.
Yeah. So again, like think of the plays as like you get one play, uh, so 1 wicket at the spore before having to go back to hitting caps. So that's again like kind of a band-aid fix and again like a really big generalization, but again something I just want you to keep working on. So kind of try to find more ways to hit your CS. You get one play, before having to go back to the day job of hitting camps. So again, play can be an invade. For example, let's find the Diana Goose Hunt, Wild Goose Hunt. I want to see that. I think it happened around here.
I think it was
No, it was
my
way earlier.
my first death.
Oh
Or
yeah,
maybe it was not to death anyway. It was before. It was here.
oh yeah, it was here.
Maybe not. No, no,
Oh
it
yeah,
was earlier than this. Blue was not up. I went
yeah. This.
to Raptor.
Yep.
It's earlier, before Herald, I think.
I think it's here. I think we ended up. We were here. We saw the Diana in the river. I think
Yeah,
that was it.
right before this. Yes, I
Oh
invaded
yeah.
the whole blue side and then went mid and then didn't know what to do and
Let's see. I think my YouTube player is kind of starting to lag out. Okay, so yeah, it was
yeah,
here.
here. I match her and then I don't know what to do
Yep.
because I wanted to dive, but then they killed and I was like, okay, what can I do?
What you can even do since the bot lane is staggered here, you could just wait for the ADC to come back, maybe take the Drake. Meanwhile, since we are really strong, we take it really fast with Kraken, and then we just use the Herald to dive the ADC, stuff like that. Because these guys are staggered. Um, the Rakan died a lot later. But yep, but basically, I like this as we are going back to heading camps, but again, what I would like to do is just hit all your camps. Again, I want to think about the objective. I think about the objective a lot. I said probably wouldn't even give my blue, to be honest. I know you don't use it, but I want the golden XP, especially when
I
I'm
usually take it,
7-0.
but here I was like, maybe I'm really far ahead. Maybe I should give a little to my team just so they have a way to win.
Yep. I mean, this wasn't actually a bad sequence. This was a really good sequence up until this point, yeah, when we kind of overcommitted. Yeah. Actually, there was nothing really wrong with that. Uh, One thing you could do is you could just take the Drake, maybe get the camps down, and just ask for your laners to ward here. For example, they can maybe stop, they can maybe stop the invader, stuff like that even. But again, like the running around, I want to cut the running around time as low as possible. That's kind of my idea here. So maybe
No
if
downtime.
you do review your own games, I hope you do. Or if you start reviewing your games, maybe that's something to look at always. Okay, why am I running around, and how long am I running around for? That's probably something to look at. But yep, that's pretty much all for this session. Do you have any questions?
No, you answered them. Thank you very much.
All right. Yep. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upload this to YouTube, and what I want you to do is I want you to look it over again, because it's a lot of information. It's like 1 hour of beamlining.
Yeah.
So to make sure that something sticks. But again, like the biggest thing, if you take nothing away from this, at least take the learning objective. So these are the things I want you to now start working on. Small wins, plan around the objective timers. You get one play before having to go back to the day job of hitting camps.
Okay.
Also, one more thing I would add here actually is the utilizing teammate tools and making plays around them.
Yeah, that's right.
Tools. So this is a really easy way to kind of getting like a high percent kill. So this is a really easy way to kind of find yourself going for high percentage kills and plays. Is just play around the timers. So for example, this game we don't really have that big of a really good ults, but if you do, again, I want you to focus more on realizing or knowing that okay, my laner has ult here, maybe we can make something happen, stuff like that.
Okay. That's right, and it's an easy improvement because I just have to look to the green
Yep, so look
green
for the green
ball
dot.
and yeah.
Exactly. Yep.